Yes, yes, the Casanovians. Yes, yes, the Casanovians. Okay, this is going to be probably the most valuable live stream for the right person because I want to talk about how to get over a difficult breakup as a man. So if you're somebody right now who has just come out of a difficult breakup, maybe you've had your heart broken for the very first time, maybe you've just come out of a relationship that you thought this was going to be your future wife, and it feels as though everything's just fallen apart around you. Like maybe you're struggling to sleep, maybe you're struggling to eat, maybe you're experiencing so many worst case scenarios in your mind. Maybe you're worried that you're never going to be able to meet somebody else. Maybe you're worried that you're never going to be able to find anybody who made you feel the way that this woman made you feel. Maybe you're worried that you got lucky, because I've experienced this. And when I was 19 years old, I thought my life was over. So I met a girl, my very first relationship. So this was the girl that I lost my virginity to. She was really my first everything. And I met her at university. So we're at the University of Liverpool together. I met her at a house party, very opportunistically. I went back to a house party one night and she came bursting through the doors, telling us to keep the noise down. And back then, I didn't really have a lot going for me. I was not the best of looking. I didn't have any money. I was a broke university student. But the only thing that I really had going was I kind of just didn't really care. So I remember she burst through these doors and I was like, oi, calm down, calm down. Then we had a thumb war. I said to her, I can't stop shitting myself. I've got freshers flu. And it was interesting because she was a strikingly beautiful girl. Like on paper, the type of girl that I should never have got. But for whatever reason, she just liked me. And I think it was because I wasn't trying to pretend to be something that I wasn't. I was just fully raw authentic. And we bonded. Yeah, we went deep in a relationship together. And for those of you who know my story, I struggled with erectile dysfunction for a long time in my adult life because I was a porn addict. And this was a girl that the reason why I had such a deep connection with this girl was because she had faith in me. Because the first time we tried to have sex, it didn't work. The second time, it didn't work. And I think it was the third or fourth time we were watching 50 Shades of Grey on her laptop. And then it just worked. And it was this crazy moment for me because there was a part of me that genuinely never thought I would lose my virginity. I don't know if you've ever gone through anything like this where you try to get hard for a girl and it's not working and you feel as though you're losing value in the eyes of a woman. And I hated that feeling of feeling less than, right? But she stood by me, you know, she was patient, she was caring, she was nurturing. She helped me through a period in my life that I didn't actually think I'd be able to get over. But as the months went on, I was becoming hyper needy in this relationship. The reason why I became needy was because I was terrified of losing the relationship. Because I didn't know how to replace the relationship, I lost myself in that relationship. And I would describe the connection that we had as love. Like she was my first love. But now, 9 years later after the breakup, my definition of love is more mature because I think we use these terms, joy, happiness, love. But I don't think we take enough time to define what these words actually mean. Socrates, the beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. Because for me now, love is admiration without worship. love is admiration without worship. And back then, my loyalty and my love was based around scarcity. I did want her, I did. But really, I just wanted somebody. And I think she represented everything that I thought I would never have. And because this was my first relationship, I got needy. I started to sink into scarcity thinking. And as the months rolled on, the relationship for her became suffocating. I wanted to be around her all of the time. I also was getting increasingly insecure because we would go on nights out with the people that I live with in my halls of residence. And there was one night where one of my flatmates, she looked at her and she looked at me and she was like, Christian, how the fuck did you get her? Because there was a big discrepancy in terms of aesthetics, which I think when you're at university, that is one of the main things. It's how you look, right? Or maybe you're popular because of one of the sports team. But I didn't have anything going for me, right? And in the back of my mind, I always thought she would leave. As soon as somebody else better came along, so that's why I got so scarce. And then eventually, the bubble burst. We had a conversation. She said, listen, I can't do this anymore. It's just getting too intense. It's too much. And after we had that conversation, essentially the breakup conversation, you know, when your girl's basically saying, thanks, but no thanks. And I spiraled completely out of control. I went into Liverpool Centre that night where she broke up with me. I got white girl wasted, like super drunk. I don't even remember most of the night, but I remember this snapshot in my mind, which is imprinted into my memory, where I was on the phone to her at around 3 a.m. in the morning, crying into the phone, begging her to take me back. And honestly, it was embarrassing. And she was like, listen, I can't do this. And that was it. And I spiraled into one of the deepest, darkest depressions of my life. I remember once I got sobered up, the first thing that I did was I went onto YouTube and I looked at videos, how to overcome heartbreak, how to get over your ex. And the thing that I was really searching for, it wasn't advice and it wasn't information. It was hope. That is the greatest currency of human existence. Because a man without hope is dead. I wasn't looking for motivation. I wasn't looking for feel-good advice. Really what I was searching for was somebody who'd been in my position to tell me that it was okay, that I'd be okay. And I understand that, you know, if you're going through a breakup right now, and if you're going through it, then you probably just want somebody to say that, listen, dude, I get it, I've been there, and it's okay. Because no matter how old you are, no matter if it's your first breakup, or maybe you've made a really deep emotional connection with a girl, it fucking hurts, dude. And I don't subscribe to this manosphere red pill ideology that, oh, on to the next one, just get under somebody else. I think that we're all born from the masculine and the feminine. I think that if you imagine a child, if a child falls off a climbing frame, first of all, he needs the tender love and care from the mother. It's okay, I've got you, we'll be fine. But then, he needs a no bullshit, analytical logic from the dad, right? Why did you fall off? How can we stop that from happening again? And whether it's nature or nurture, what I've found in myself is I can hold space for both, yeah? So if you're somebody right now, and you probably just want to know that you'll be okay, and I can give that to you as a promise that as long as you listen to the things that I'm going to say in this stream and you apply them, you'll be great. And one of the greatest reframes that I've ever had was, this is so good. Oh, sorry. This is so bad, it must be good. Yeah? This is so bad, it must be good. How can I make this the best thing that's ever happened to me? But before we get into these reframes, first of all, and this is probably the most important thing, if you're going through a breakup right now, allow yourself to feel every fucking emotion. Yeah? If you want to cry, if you want to be angry, if you want to go to the boxing gym and beat the living daylights out of a punching bag, if you want to climb the top of a mountain and just scream to the top of your lungs, do that. Because I think that before you can get over your ex-partner, you have to mourn the death of that relationship. And something that I didn't do back then, but I wish I did, and something that I would say to you now is, you're going to be experiencing lots of different emotions right now. You're going to be experiencing guilt, shame, regret, maybe some elements of happiness when you're looking back over the good times that you spent together. And what I would say is, honor the relationship that you've had. And I would say, write down all of the great things that you got from that relationship. And also, write down all the things that you would do differently now. Because if you do this correctly, this will be the best thing that's ever happened to you. Because even though you thought this girl was going to be the one, and it turns out she didn't, or she wasn't, what this relationship can be is a stepping stone for something even greater. So when you do meet somebody else, and let's say the next woman you meet turns out to be your wife and you have a great family together, that only happened because of the person you had to develop yourself into. It's almost like investing into the stock market. It's a compounding interest over time, right? So the first thing that I would say that you do is allow yourself to mourn the death of the relationship. If you need to cry, have a fucking cry. Like, dude, I'm somebody that feels emotions deeply. Yeah, I do not subscribe to this stone cold, robotic, one-dimensional alpha. All these guys masquerading online as these high value whatever. Like, it's just complete bullshit, right? We are born from the masculine and the feminine. We all feel, we all have emotions. And I think the best thing that you can do, first of all, is to allow yourself to grieve the death of the relationship and understand as well, just because a relationship ends doesn't mean that it fails, right? Just because a relationship ends doesn't mean that it failed. The way that I see it is two people have come together on a journey. Imagine you're on a train, right? You might just have different stops. You might have different destinations. But just because you get off at different stops doesn't mean that it failed. Doesn't mean that you can't have enjoyed the time together. Yeah? And I think that this is really important. When I went through my first heartbreak, the problem was I hadn't become abundant, okay? I hadn't become the version of myself who knew I could replace that relationship. Now, this might seem cold-hearted to many people, but I think it's a rational way of entering relationships. Because back then, I had this rose-tinted view of relationships. I had this happily ever after Disney-fied romance, right? I put so much pressure on my first girlfriend because I was trying to make her be my everything. I found that some of the deepest human needs are significance, importance, and growth. Significance, importance, and growth. Yeah? Or sorry, significance, belonging, and growth. Excuse me. Significance, belonging, and growth. Okay? For us to feel good, for us to feel complete, in my experience, these three things need to be aligned. So do you feel significant? Yeah? So when I was in my relationship with my first girlfriend, she made me feel important, right? Belonging. She gave me a sense of belonging. With her, I felt complete. I felt as though I had a best friend that I could have sex with. Growth. And this is where I fucked up, okay? Because when I got the girl, I didn't understand how to keep her, right? Because what happened, and I think what happens to a lot of guys, especially when you get into your very first relationship, is you stop working on yourself. Yeah, you stop being the version of yourself that your woman fell for in the first place. And after 2 or 3 months go down the line, she realizes she's in a relationship now with a stranger. And I think that for a lot of guys, and you might be in this position right now, when you get into a relationship with a woman, the growth element needs to be there. Not looking to your woman for all of these needs. Let me put it in a simple way. The version of myself that I am today, I'm in a relationship right now, and it's the healthiest, most abundant relationship I've ever been in. Why? Because I've got a life outside of this relationship. I can find fulfillment beyond the feminine. And your woman does not want to be number one. And this was a mistake that I made. And this is why it hit so deep. Because when I lost my first girlfriend, I lost all of these deep needs. I lost my feeling of significance. I lost my feeling of belonging. And because I hadn't been working on myself, I didn't feel like I'd been growing as a person. So I was just at this rock bottom moment, right? But now, because I've been investing heavily for the past 5 years into the skill of daytime cold approach, which is just talking to new women. That's all that this skill is. What's happened is I've now become the version of myself who knows he can have. This is what abundance is. It's not always having, it's knowing you can have. And one of the greatest gifts you can give to your woman is the knowledge that you can replace her. And that might seem callous, that might seem cutthroat, but when your woman knows that you could get somebody else, but you choose her, that's loyalty. Because most men's loyalty today is based around scarcity. They don't want her, they just want someone. And your woman can feel that. If your woman knows that you could replace her, but you choose her, that's sexy, that's seductive, right? My girlfriend right now, she knows that I've become a fuckable person, right? She knows that I travel the world, I help other guys live rockstar dating lives. She understands I've got a level of status / clout on social media. She understands that if this relationship failed tomorrow, I would not have a problem finding somebody else. But I don't want to. And that's why right now, this is the healthiest relationship I've ever been in my life, because out of all of the options that I could have at my disposal, with all the skills I've developed, the man that I've become, all the shit that I've gone through, I choose her. And I think that is what, we'll call it love, admiration without worship, right? I don't put my girl on a pedestal. I can love her deeply. I can be there for her. I can provide emotional support. I can be the mountain that her emotional waves crash against. But I don't need her to feel fulfilled, because she's a complement to an already abundant lifestyle. I think the greatest relationships are when two people come together who already feel whole, and then you can grow together. But I don't look to my girl for significance, belonging, growth. She can give me elements of that. But in terms of belonging, I've got my community, the entourage, the guys who I work with one-on-one. Significance. This is the biggest one for me. I know a lot of guys in this space talk about purpose. I genuinely wake up every day just fucking excited. And it's not like, dude, it's not even for the money anymore. When I first started my business 5 years ago, I'll be completely transparent, I just wanted to make cash, right? I was a porn addict, erectile dysfunction, never achieved anything worthwhile in my life. I wanted to start a cold approach business because I wanted to make money. That's why I started. I always get pissed off when I listen to interviews of guys, and it might be a coach, and the interviewer will be like, oh, so why did you start your business? It's like, oh, I just wanted to give back. I just wanted to help other guys. I just wanted to serve the world. It's like, motherfucker, no, you didn't. You just wanted to make some cash to escape the hellhole that you call a life. That's fine. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's kind of like that. Now I'm in a position where I don't need anything from anybody financially, right? For me, money is a universal language of love, yeah? Money is a universal language of love. I could tell my mum how much I care about her, or I could wire 5K into a bank account. If she's going through a difficult period in her life, I could be like, oh, there, mum, it'll be fine. Or if she's got bills that need paying, I'm like, mum, don't worry about it. I've got you, sorted, boom, no questions asked. So this is love, right? Money is just this force, it's a tool, right? It's a universal language of love. So now, if people get to a point where they're like, you know what? I really like Christian, I fuck with him. I really like this guy as a person. Yeah, I want to invest in what he's doing. Then that's the highest compliment somebody can pay me. It's not a case of, oh, I'm going to take your money and go buy a fucking Lambo. I don't give a shit about materialistic shit, right? I care about growth. I care about purpose. I care about mission. That's what inspires me every single day. So now I'm not looking to my partner to give me this sense of significance. I'm creating content. I'm building a movement. I'm changing the lives of millions of men around the world. That's what gets me off. That's what I live for. If I didn't have anything going on in my life, if I was just a flump who was watching YouTube videos and doing fuck all in my life, if I was working a job I hated in a city that I despised, like I was 5 years ago, I was a public speaker in the National Railway Museum in York. So I had to give public talks to 60-year-old dudes about locomotives. If you don't know anything about the Flying Scotsman, I'm your fucking guy. And I just felt deeply unfulfilled. So if you can understand that our driving forces are significance, belonging, and growth, then what is so important for you is when you do get into your next relationship, because it will happen, okay? You will meet somebody else. And I understand you might feel depressed right now. You might feel as though you've hit rock bottom. Now you understand, because the process I'm taking you through here is right. You're sad right now. Feel it. Allow yourself to fucking cry. Feel all these emotions. That's okay. But then, when you've gone through this, because don't stay there forever, right? I'd say 7 days is long enough, right? 7 days to grieve, to mourn, to feel sorry for yourself, to fucking eat ice cream on your bed with just your fucking boxer shorts on. Do what you need to do. But after 7 days, I think, right, it's time to get to fucking work now, right? This is where my masculine instinct would kick in. First of all, I'm there for you, right? I'm giving you the nurturing, feminine care. I can do that. I can hold space for that. After 7 days, if you're still being a needy little shit, right, it's time to get to work now, dude. So here's how we can reframe it. I would say it's now time for your rock bottom renaissance, yeah? This is so bad, it must be good. How can you now turn all of this pain into power? How can you transmute your wounds into wisdom? Who are you going to become? Because this is rocket fuel, right? And I don't subscribe to the ideology that, oh, use heartbreak as revenge, like, oh, you know, become unrecognizable king, show her what she's missing out on. I mean, whatever your fuel source is, I'm not going to shame you for it. But what I would suggest instead, rather than being like, oh, I'm going to get revenge on this girl, is I think heartbreak is the cheat code for success. Not in a, oh, I'm going to show her what she's missing out on. But again, look, dude, I don't know you. I don't know your level of maturity. If that gets you out your ass to go to the gym, to start building a business, to start training martial arts, then fucking good luck to you. But I think that heartbreak is the cheat code for success. Because think about it like this. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it hadn't have been for that experience. I wouldn't be able to create content like this and speak to you on an emotional level and get slightly emotional myself if I hadn't gone through that, right? So the experience that you're going through right now, your future self will thank you for it. And also from a zoomed out perspective, your future family, your future wife, like these lessons right now, you are going to be able to install everything you're going through into your children, right? Into your future family. So I do think you have to go through this. I think it is a rite of passage, yeah? For every man to get his heart broken into a million pieces, to meet the woman he thinks is gonna be the one, and everything blows up like a big piece of shit in front of his face. I think that is beautiful. I think it's necessary. And I think that when you're in that position as a man, I think that when you're going through that pain period, I think honor this feeling, be grateful for it, because it will turn you into the person that you need to become. I think a lot of these things that happen, it's God acting in disguise. Yeah, and the beautiful thing about life is you can attach any interpretation you want, right? Even if it's not true, we make it true by believing in it. As a man thinketh, so is he. So that's the beautiful thing about life. There is no right or wrong. It's just whatever interpretation you decide to attach to it. So if you're going through a heartbreak right now, then allow yourself to feel, yeah? Allow yourself to mourn the death of the relationship. I'm saying to you, not as a guru, not as a fucking coach, but as a human to human, you will be okay. You will get through it. Even if it means you have to watch 7 days of YouTube content to inspire hope and optimism into you. But learn the lessons, yeah? Because there's reasons why this relationship fell apart. And I do believe in radical responsibility. So where did you fuck up in this relationship? Because if you can't be radically honest with yourself, you're going to repeat the same mistakes, right? Over and over again. And you're just going to come to the conclusion that You're just unlucky. You're just bad with women. You're just unlovable. When really there's probably shit that you're doing in the relationship that are pissing girls off, right? So maybe you're becoming too needy because you don't have anything else going on. Yeah, maybe you just need more experience with the feminine. Maybe you've got things going on that you've not fully come to terms with. Maybe you still hate yourself. Maybe you've not fully forgive yourself for all the shit and all the mistakes that you've made in the past. I spoke about this on the live stream yesterday before we got rudely cut off. I think the best way to reinvent your dating life as a man in 2026 is not tricks, is not tactics, it's through truth, right? It's by radically forgiving yourself in this moment for all the shit that you've gone through, all the mistakes you've made, all the promises you've not kept, all the people you've let down. You're dragging this like dirty laundry in a dirty tumble dryer into everything that you're doing. Yeah? It's like going out. I heard it put perfectly once where this guy was like, it's like walking out into the street and you've got your best suit on, your hair's done nice, you're feeling, or you're looking like the guy, but back home, you've got unpaid bills, there's shit on the floor, your dog's not been fed, there's like a pile of laundry. So it's like, you need to take care to take care. You need to do some internal housekeeping. And what I suggested on the live stream yesterday is before you even focus on meeting somebody else, or even before you even focus on putting yourself out there again, the best thing that I can say that you do right now is just sit with yourself. Once you've allowed all the emotions to cascade through you, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Yeah? And you need to do this on a daily basis as well, because we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. Because you've probably got dark shit that you've gone through. You've probably got dark things, skeletons in your closet that you'd rather not talk about. You've probably made mistakes. You've probably fucked people over. You've probably made promises. You've probably pretended to be something you're not. None of us are perfect, right? We're all human. We're all just doing the best with the information that we've got. And I don't judge anybody, right? But you have to forgive yourself. Maybe you've had experiences with girls in the past that you would prefer to do something differently. Maybe you've cheated. Maybe you've not been loyal. Maybe you made shit up. Whatever it is, you need to forgive yourself for it, because you will not meet the woman that you want until, it sounds fucking cringy, but I'm going to say it. You have to fall in love with the idea of you, right? And the only way that you're going to do that, and the only way that I found to do that, is not by approaching more girls. It's not by more motivation. It's not by lifting more at the gym. It's not by adding anything else to your character. It's removing the shit that's currently holding you back. And nobody else will tell you this, because it's not sexy, right? Every other, I don't even know what to call them anymore. Every other fucking coach guru in this space, they all focus on tactics. They all focus on, right, here's the best city to approach. Here's the best open. Here's the best text. Add more muscle. Add more status. Get your eyebrows threaded. None of this shit fucking works. What works is not the addition. It's the removal. Because the thing that holds so many men back from living and having the relationships that they want with wife-worthy women and creating these cosmic connections is not your eyebrows. It's not your height. It's not your fucking race. It's the level of shame that you're carrying through life. And until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. Yeah? You have to forgive yourself for all the shit. And look, I'm not some woo-woo law of attraction spiritual teacher. I'm a practical man. I like practical solutions. I just came back from the fucking Muay Thai gym, got 10 bells kicked out of me. I like physical shit. I like masculine shit. I like sprinting up hills. I like hitting big, heavy shit. I like doing cold approach. I like jumping out of aeroplanes. I like solo traveling. I like masculine things. I like eating a big lump of steak. I like that shit. But I can also hold space for emotional depth, understanding that we're born from the masculine and the feminine. And you can do all these hyper-masculine activities. You can have biceps the size of coconuts. You can have a huge social media following. You can have a harem of 10 absolute smoke shows. That's great. Fair fucking play to, yeah. But until you can allow yourself and forgive yourself for all the shit that you've gone through, and you make a daily practice out of doing this, then you'll always feel like there's something missing. You'll always feel as though there's just this thing. It might be a tightness in your chest. There might be when you're speaking with women, it doesn't feel like it's fully you in the conversation. It feels like there's this missing piece of the puzzle. And usually it's because of the shame that you're carrying. So if you're going through a heartbreak right now, let's make let's make these next 7 days the best 7 days of your entire fucking life. Mourn the death of the relationship. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to grieve. Write down a list of all the things that you got from that relationship, all the things that you would do differently. Maybe there are things as well that, this is interesting. Maybe you were in a relationship with a girl and she didn't fully tick all of your boxes. I think this is why, you know, this advice online from these red pill morons who are like, oh, ignore women till you're 35. You know, focus on you, king. Lock in. And it's like, no, because the problem with this is if you've not gone through heartbreak early on in your life, then you don't have experience on how to navigate relationships with the feminine. I would much rather a guy gets his heart broken at 19 years old than a guy who's had his heart broken for the first ever time at 38 years old. Because imagine this, yeah? Imagine a guy, and this might be you, imagine a guy who's followed this red pill rhetoric. Imagine a guy who's ignored women until he's 38 years old. He's got a seven-figure business. He's got a beautiful Porsche. He might have a Pomeranian. He might have a penthouse. You know, he's got all the materialistic trophies. He's been working on himself. He's stayed locked in, king. But imagine this guy at 38 years old falls head over heels with a woman. Then she leaves him. Imagine that is a dangerous position to be in. Because it's like, well, what was it all for? Because you need batting practice, yeah? You need batting practice with the feminine. You need to learn how to navigate the emotional vicissitudes, which is like bad shit. You need to know how to navigate the feelings of the feminine, because this is where so many guys get it wrong. So many guys are just focused on the front end side of things. Like, oh, I need to become more attractive. I need to look smacked. I need to, you know, build more status, build more credibility. But if you've not got experience with the back end of relationships, so knowing how to handle a woman when she is being emotional, learning how to navigate these more delicate sides. So maybe you're out for dinner and the food is taking too long, but you don't have the emotional conviction to raise your hand and be like, hey, we've been waiting for a long time. Being able to project your proclivity as a protector takes practice, and you need practice. You need relationship practice, not just approaching practice, but you need to learn how to navigate relationships with the feminine. And even if you are a young guy right now and you don't have a lot going for you, what I would say is just get into a few relationships with women who you think you can get. Because I think that, you know, a lot of guys who are 18, 19, 20 years old, they've been told by these, you know, red pill morons online that, oh, you should be going for the creme de la creme. But it's like, dude, if you're 18, 19, 20 years old, the best women are not going to fucking want you. That's just me being honest. So rather than wasting your time trying to get these fucking Instagram models, just get women who are around your level. Allow yourself to learn from these women, learn about relationships, learn about the person you are inside of relationships. Get as much practice as possible, understanding that it's probably not going to be a forever thing. But I think a lot of times we make long-term decisions based around short-term feelings. I think we make long-term decisions based on short-term feelings. And I think that if you're a guy and you've not had your heart broken and you've not had experience in relationships with the feminine, then you run the risk of getting into your late 30s, meeting a woman who, yeah, okay, she's great, but then because you've not got that experience, it can all blow up in your face, right? Because, you know, when I met my girlfriend, it almost felt like a man who'd been starving for years finally getting food, finally having an abundance of food. And when the buffet got taken away, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know what to do. So let's say you've mourned the death of the relationship, you've done all the shit that I've spoke about so far, and you've gone through this difficult period in your life. I would say for you, right, listen, the reason, fucking hell, that was a nice little burp. The reason why you felt scarce in the relationship is because you've not yet become the version of yourself who knows you can have, right? So when you've applied all the stuff we spoke about so far, and you've made peace, you forgive yourself, you're starting to shed the shame, now it's time to put yourself back out there. Now it's time to take your finger out your ass, you dirty little fucker, and start cold approaching, dude. And start cold approaching. Because I wish I'd have started cold approaching sooner. Yeah, because we've got guys in the entourage. We had one of our guys recently, 22 years old, who lost his virginity with a girl who he cold approached in London. And it's like the level of emotional maturity he's now got from learning the skill on the streets, meeting a great woman, like just going through the entire process. I think more guys who are in their early 20s should start cold approaching after a heartbreak, after you've done all these things, because it's going to set you up perfectly for your future. And this is how I like to think, not in terms of days, but in decades. If you're a younger guy right now, and you've been freshly heartbroken, then these next 10 years, if you're consistent with cold approaching, you start traveling the world, you build a business, you have lots of different experiences, this is going to be the greatest decade of your life. But I would say starting cold approach is the best thing that you can do right now. The best thing you can do for your mental health, the best thing you can do for your future relationships, the best thing to do as well to show you that there's plenty more women out there who you can have. Because I think this is something that really holds us back. We fall into the one fantasy. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, she was so special. I'm never going to be able to meet a girl like her again. This is what I was going through. I'm like, fuck. I think one of my biggest fears was, because this was the girl that I lost my virginity to, and I struggled getting a boner with her, I was like, fuck, if she leaves, what if I'm never going to be able to get a boner with a new girl, and I basically become a virgin again? That was one of my fears. I'm like, dude, you can't stay with somebody just because you're scared of not being able to get a boner with somebody else. Again, it was just these fucked up dynamics that I had to go through. And I think if you're coming out of a heartbreak right now, the best thing you can do for your future self, your future family, your overall mental hygiene, as long as you have made peace with yourself and you're working on yourself, you start putting yourself out there. Right? Start getting FaceTime with the feminine. Start allowing yourself to feel that radiant energy of the feminine washing through you. It's not even about going on dates at the start. It's really just about getting permission and validation for yourself and the skill. I think the best thing you can do after coming out of a heartbreak is walk out into your city centre, do 5 direct daytime approaches, and if 3 of the women stop and smile at you and say, oh my God, thank you so much, that's great. That's a win. That's a result. That's going to tell your brain, oh, cool, there's more women out there. Oh, I'm not as unfuckable as I thought I was. All I need now is the right skills, the right belief system, and the right character traits, and I'm going to take this shit to the moon. So if you're in that position right now and you want to start approaching, you want to start becoming the version of yourself who knows he can have, because you don't want to repeat these same mistakes. You want to become the most abundant, fuckable, magnetic version of yourself. Daytime cold approach is the way to do that in 2026. It's not hiding behind apps. It's not getting drunk in nightclubs. It's not playing it safe and trying to, you know what it is, shag Susie through your social circle. Oi, oi, Susie! What it is growing a set of balls, viewing daytime cold approach as the most aggressive form of self-development, and getting these first 100 approaches done ASAP, right? And what I've done is I put all my best content from the past 5 years into a free school community. So there's really no excuses for anybody going into the new year. Like, I've taken the time to put all of my best content into one easily to access place. So the first link below this video, you can access my best cold approach content, which will show you A to Z how to get started with cold approach, how to overcome the fear of rejection, how to do your first 100 approaches. You'll see me live in the field, coaching my clients one-on-one in person. We do deep dives. In the new year, we're going to be doing live webinars where you can ask me questions. This is the year of personal renaissance. This is the year of masculine excellence. Whoever you've been in the past, whatever mistakes you made, whatever bullshit you've been telling yourself, 2026 will be the year where you become the most extreme, fuckable version of you, right? We're putting it out there. We're putting this intention out there. There's no reason why you can't do it, right? You get all that community in the link below. All the fucking content is there. I'm doing these live streams every single day until my birthday on the 12th of January. So just watch the content. Go out, implement it. Give yourself permission to suck. You're not the finished product right now. That's okay. I wasn't when I started 5 years ago. I've still got work to do. We're all works in progress. But the final thing that I want to leave you with is, I thought my life was over at 19 years old. I thought my life was done. I thought my dating and relationship life was done. I didn't think I was ever going to meet anybody else. I sunk into a hyper-depressive state. I was a scarce, angry little fucker who just wanted to be wanted. And I came out of that hellhole and I did something with it. Yeah? And I promise you, if you want it, you can do it as well. Yeah? It doesn't happen by luck, it happens by design. So allow yourself to cry, get sad, feel all the emotions, write a fucking list to yourself. Then it's time to get the work done. Yeah, then it's time to stop being a little bitch. Then it's time to get out there, live a life beyond the beige, not to die with your music still inside of you. And understanding, you're not just doing it for you, you selfish prick. You're doing it for your future family. You're doing it for the future mother of your children. View this as a stepping stone towards the man that you need to be. I'm here for you. Let's get to fucking work. If you've enjoyed this, by the way, drop it a like. And if you want my best content, completely free, no paywall, no subscription, then the first link below this video, you can access everything for free. And we'll do it again tomorrow. Love you. Bye.